What's up, everybody? My name is Jeremy Jones and I am back with another video. Today I'm talking my weekly sneaker rotation, so stay tuned.
Doesn't make sense. I don't really know. Got a lot of things changing in my life. Hoping one day I'ma get it all right. Brother is engaged, about to start a new life. Yeah, I haven't had a chill day. Really wanna vibe, appreciate the moments. I've been creating, not scrolling. Mom and dad still support.
Alright, man, I'm back with another video. Now, before I get too deep into this video, y'all already know what to do. Go and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you know, consider subscribing. I make content about sneakers. Alright, so let's dive into today's video. Just like I said in the intro, I am back with another weekly sneaker rotation. Now, this should be week 137 to the best of my knowledge. And if I'm wrong, feel free to correct the kid down in the comment section. Now, y'all already know I started this series off at the beginning of 2023, and here we are. We're on week 137, right? Okay. Now, if you want to get a sneak peek of what I'm wearing throughout the week, sign up for that sold out Discord. The link is pinned at the top of the comment section, and it should be free to sign up. Or, of course, we continue the sneaker talk. We got a food section, a sports section, you name it, right? Okay. Pretty much if I don't get the content out in time, it should be over there already floating around in one of those pretty much sections that we have in the Discord, right? Okay. But enough rambling, let's get on and get to this weekly sneaker rotation. Now, y'all know I end things off on a Friday, then pick right back up on Saturday. So pretty much, this one should be a quick one for the kid. So pretty much, because this is gonna cover Saturday and Sunday, pretty much that means the kid was at the crib for the most part. I didn't make no moves, I didn't do X, Y, Z. I honestly tried to do my very best to just chill. And that means the kid was at the crib, and basically I just did crib things in the Yeezy slides. Y'all know these are my old faithfuls, the pure colorway Yeezy slides, and I did pay resale for these, but safe to say when I bought these in 2021, here we are in 2025. Yeah, I think I've gotten my money's worth. Now, this is a major dirt magnet, but it is super duper comfortable, right? Okay. One thing I will say about this version right here, I will say as I wear this more and more and it starts to wear down, I notice I trip a little bit more than usual in these, and it could just be because I'm clumsy, right? Okay, but I notice when I do travel in my fresher pair, I trip less. Now, because they're a little bit more tighter. This one is a little bit more looser. Now, does that change between the comfortability between either pair? Not really, because the foam is still there. Honestly, I think I probably prefer the more firm fit, no pun intended here, versus this loose fit, but at the same time, this loose fit is perfect just for the crib, right? Okay, so I wouldn't say like, if you're looking for a pure colorway, not to get none, but I mean like, you might as well get the quote unquote updated version, which we all had access to whenever Ye kind of, you know, and Adidas parted ways in 2022, I'll say it nicely. But this was my Saturday and Sunday shoe, was a Yeezy slide, and this is the pure colorway. Cool. Now I'm gonna move right along on to Monday. You know the kid work a full-time job, and pretty much I guarantee you by the second shoe you're gonna know what type of week and what type of time I was on. Pretty much comfort the whole week. Maybe just being home over the weekend and being in my Yeezy slides inspired this, right? Okay, another wave right here, no pun intended. And this is the Yeezy slide, and these are the pretty much red striped colorway, right? Okay, 350 V2s. I rocked these out on Monday, and I will say this. I'm the guy that says like, okay, I can't really tell the difference sometimes between some super duper comfortable Nikes and like Air Jordans to the Yeezy slides. But this time I will say this, the more you wear these like 350 V2s, and this is probably any shoe, and get it broken in, the more comfortable it becomes. Now, when I first got these first out the box, no, they're not ready to go first out the box if you ask the kid. But over time, they have gotten better. And I know I rocked the shoestrings like loosey-goosey because it was kind of like a thing we were all doing, because I think we saw Ye did it and we just kind of like, followed the trend, so to speak. So this was my Monday shoe, was a Yeezy 350 V2, and this is the red stripe colorway, right? Okay, I think I had to pay resale for these, but I didn't get cracked over the head, right? Okay, cool. Now we're gonna move right along to Tuesday, right back to work, full-time job. Now I will say this shoe in particular, something I wanted for a very, very long time. So when they did a restock or a re-release on these, I had to be all in. And I think I actually got this pair for retail and actually hit whenever we was live that entire day for Yeezy Day. You know, they used to do that back in the day too, before the whole Ye and Adidas beef, right? Okay, no pun intended here. But pretty much Tuesday, the kids stepped right back into work and I was in the Yeezy. And this is the 350 V1, not 2, V1, and these are the Turtle Doves, right? Okay. I feel like this is a great versatile shoe, and I will say comfortability on these, super there. I will say you can definitely feel the boost on these. And y'all know me, I've been rocking mine like pretty much, I won't say around the clock, but when I put them in rotation, I put them in rotation. Good summer shoe, I can easily say that, especially if you got on shorts or if you're just at work like I was, and you like me, my building, it is like not a small building per se. It's actually rather large, right? Okay, so if I gotta be out and about and mobile, you want something comfortable on your feet, and I feel like this is a great shoe for that. Now, I will say this, I'm glad I didn't bite the bullet and try to pay resale for these because I probably would have been super mad. Especially there's nothing more annoying whenever you go ahead and bite the bullet after waiting years and you see the price steadily going up, and then, you know, Yeezy or Nike or Air Jordan re-release the shoe and then you get cracked, right? Okay, it happens. It probably happens to the best of us. But yeah, this was my Tuesday shoe, was the Yeezy 350 V1 Turtle Dove. Super duper comfortable shoe, and I feel like timeless classic shoe, and I'm glad that I was able to catch these for the W. Cool. Now we're gonna move right on to Wednesday. As you can see already, you know what type of theme I'm on. Comfort this week, right? Okay, now I will say this one. Out of all the Yeezy sneakers, I will say this one I would arguably comes comfortable right out the box, and I don't regret it. And obviously, I've said this time and time again in videos, I would wear this joint probably the most if I had to pick one in particular. And I'm talking none other than the Wave Runner, right? Okay, now these are the 700s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 700 V1, if I'm not mistaken, but these are the Wave Runners, what we know them as. Super duper comfortable wave shoe, like where we were saying this is that dad wave vibes. And I will admit, I was a part of the wave, no pun intended here, when the shoe first came out. I hated it, I didn't like it. I was like, yo, he's doing too much, he's just begging for attention, this and a third. But seeing these in person, totally different ball game. And then when I got a pair, even leveled up, no pun intended right here. Comfort level through the roof, eye catcher, attention like grabber, right? Okay, when I wear these every time, everybody's like, oh wow. You know what I'm saying? Some people even think things are new. You know, you can tell I've worn these over time, but super duper comfortable shoe. And you know what? I feel like if this shoe looks like it's not versatile, it actually is. I don't think a fit that I can't get off with this. I don't even worry about what I'm gonna wear to work whenever I grab these, because I know whatever it is, it's just gonna hit. This is what you could call like a very versatile sneaker. So this was my Wednesday shoe, was the Yeezy Wave Runner. You know, and this is the V1, right? Okay, I couldn't get into the V2s, but the V1s for sure. Cool. Now we're gonna move right on to Thursday. Another shoe that I definitely wanted to add to my arsenal, but I did have to pay resale for, but I waited the timing and I didn't get cracked over the head. So at this point, y'all know it's Yeezy week for the kid. And pretty much I stepped in on Thursday. This is the Yeezy 350 V1, and these are the private blacks, man. I had to have these. If you got the Turtle Doves, you gotta have the private blacks, man. I mean, all the V1s, to be honest, are super duper dope, but I think I got the main two that I feel like if you're gonna have any, why not? Because this one right here, and Dunks will probably vouch for me, because his favorite color is black to the best of my knowledge, unless that's changed. He's convinced that black goes with everything. Me, I will say gray and or white, but this has been the top 3 colors that I've been hearing my whole entire life, where if like you're on a budget and you gotta choose colors, cool, go with black, gray, and white. Specifically, everybody always leans forward to black because they're like, black matches everything no matter what, right? Okay, and I get it. And obviously it has that little red like stitching going on the back pull tab here on the shoe. So, you know, honestly, I was already like attracted to this. Now, I will like this, it's subtle, right? And obviously everybody's like, this is the Yeezy version of like a Roshe, but I mean, you can say what you want to say about it. The shoe took off, and wherever Ye was going back then, we all kind of low-key paid attention to it, no matter how you slice it and dice it, right? Okay, so I'm gonna give credit where credit is due to Ye. So this was my Thursday shoe, was the 350 V1 Private Blacks, arguably one of my favorite shoes in my collection that I don't wear enough, but y'all know when I put them in rotation, I put them in rotation. Cool. So I'm gonna pretty much roll out to Friday to close out the week. I wanted to finish strong, and yes, You already guessed it. It is definitely another Yeezy, because you know what? It just was Yeezy week for the kid. I'm not gonna be the guy that not rock my sneakers around here. I'm just gonna say that, not taking shots at anybody, by the way. But anyway, Friday, right back to work. Kid stepped in none other than the Yeezy 350 V2, and these are the Belugas, and these are the reflective joints. I think these are the latest ones that they did. Another shoe that I couldn't get my hands on back in the day. So when I finally got a chance to get these guys, of course, I wanted the one with the 350 reflective on, or the 350 V2 Belugas that had the reflective on these joints. Now, I don't know if the camera's gonna do this any type of justice, because at the same time, for the people who are smart in the back, yes, my camera has a monitor, but at the same time, I'm not gonna see some of this stuff until like I look at the playback, right? Okay, just keeping it simple, but arguably one of my favorite shoes in my collection. Another shoe I feel like is very versatile, a great shoe to rock with some jeans, right? Okay, if you're looking like, say if you're gonna go to a concert, you're gonna be out there, you wanna be in your jeans, this and the third, I feel like this is a good shoe to go with, right? Okay. Again, I will say this is that 350 V2 wave, and I feel like we just kind of stuck with it. Now again, orange, right, is a color that I'm not really crazy about, but if done right, I'm there every night, right? Okay, and you know, obviously I got a few select sneakers in my collection that features the color orange, but I've always said gray is what pretty much shines through on this shoe, because it brings in that versatility. And this is another shoe too that doesn't feel like it should be versatile, but it actually is. So pretty much this was my Friday shoe, was the Yeezy 350 V2, and we're calling these the Belugas, and this is the reflective version. Cool. Now pretty much, man, that completes my weekly sneaker rotation for this week. Y'all sign up in the comment section and let me know what you wore throughout the week as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of this thing and stop rambling, man. Y'all be sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you know, consider subscribing. I make content about sneakers. Again, my name is Jeremy Jones, and thank you for watching, and I'm out.